Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be making this beautiful infinity midi dress. So what I've done is I have sectioned into three different parts. One is the body of the dress, the second part is the straps of the dress, and the third part is the waistband, which would have the elastic at the back and would have a flat front. It would also have pockets on the dress. So first things first is the body of the dress. So I'm just opening that up now and I would show you the measurements I'm using for each section. Body part of the dress, I am using 46 inches for as the width from one side to the other side. You can see that's 46 inches. So that's 46 inches for the front piece and for the back piece. So that's two pieces. So right, for the length of the dress, I'm going to be using 32 inches. Also going to be taking 1 inch from the top to put the waistband, and I'm going to be folding it in 2 inches at the bottom because I want the bottom to be nice and full. So I'm going to be folding it 2 inches twice. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start gathering the waist of the dress so that I can get the waistband. So my measurements I'm going to be using to make this infinity midi dress is my waist is 38 inches. So this is going to be a flat front and elastic back. The front of the skirt is going to be half of my waist, which is 38 into 2, which is 19 inches. And then I'm going to take that waistband after gathering the skirt of the dress. I would then pin and stitch the waistband onto that dress. Okay, so for the back of the waistband, I have got this long strip for the back of the waistband, and that is a total length of 46 inches, which is also the length of the back of the skirt. And then the width, or how wide the waistband is going to be, I'm using 7 inches, and then I've ironed it into 2 halves, and I've ironed the edges as well, so just like the line that would show me where I need to sew the waistband onto the fabric of the skirt. And all together I get the finished width of the waistband as 2.5 inches. Now you can make this bigger or smaller depending on how wide you want your waistband to be, but mine is going to be 2.5 inches, and I'm using the whole length of the skirt because it's a flat front and elastic back. So the elastic is going to be my waist, which is 38 inches divided by 2, which is 19 inches, minus 1 inch. So the waistband in the elastic for the waistband is going to be 18 inches. Now for the straps of the dress, I am going to be using my bust measurement divided by 4. So my bust measurement is 40 divided by 4, that's 10, and I'm going to add an extra 5 to 6 inches for the straps. So the straps is going to be the long part of this dress, which you're going to wrap around your bust and wrap around everywhere, and you can tie in different ways just to make it look really nice. So mine is going to be, in total is going to be 15 inches, and the length is going to be 85 inches. Now the reason why this has to be very long is just so it can have room to tie it in as many different areas as you want it to be. Now for the pocket of the dress, so I'm going to take the body of the dress from the top. I'm going to measure 4 inches down. I'm going to mark and notch it. So this is where the pocket is going to start from. So I'm just going to place my pocket here. The pocket I've just freehanded to cut it, so I will place the pocket here and get sewing. Okay, first things first, let's make the body of the dress. So we're starting with the front. I've just sewn it down, so I've gathered the front, so it's 19 inches long. So I'll just sew that. So I've just finished sewing that down, and the next thing is the waistband. I am going to divide that front space into 2, and I'll show you why later. Right, so next thing now would start to sew the pocket. So I'm going to quickly show you how I free-handed cutting one of the pockets. So I've just placed the normal fabric, put my hand in, and then I've just done like an oval shape just to get the shape of the pocket. So I'll just get one part of the 4 pieces of the pocket. I would place it on the notch where I did 4 inches from the waist, and then I would start sewing right side facing on all 4 sides of the pocket. So I have sewn the pockets down. I've also sewn the waistband in place. I have cut it into half and have tried to sew part of the top just so I can use the line as a guide for when I attach the upper bits to it. So this is the second half of this waistband that I have cut out. I'll just leave that to the side. And the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be working on the straps of the dress. So I have got 2 pieces of the straps, and from the beginning of the video I did mention that one of the pieces of the strap measures my bust divided by 4, which is 10 plus an extra 5 to 6 inches. So I've got about 15 and a half inches, and the length of the strap is about 85 inches, because then I'm able to wrap it around very nicely. So what I've done is I've taken the sides of the straps, I have hemmed them, the 2 sides, and also hemmed one of the length of the strap. Now I'm going to take that, place that on the skirt. So on the skirt I have folded it into half. I have notched the center, as you can see. Okay, so next thing I'll start to do now is I will take the side that I have hemmed, and then I'll start to pin that from one side of the waistband up until the middle where I have notched. I would leave a space about half an inch from the side of the waistband, so when I sew the back onto it, it doesn't affect it. So I'm just going to pin that to the middle of the waistband, and then I would start to do a box split, because obviously the width of the straps is bigger than half of the waistband. So I'm going to be doing a box split just so it stays in place nicely, and I will do this for the two straps on the waistband. Then I'll get the second strap. I'll pin this down on this side so it lines up with. So pin that down on this side. So I'm not pinning that at the edge, so that by the time I start sewing the back, it would not be sitting here. I'll go in just a bit and pin that down in place. And then I would come over here. I would overlap this on this one. So this second side will be overlapped on here. So it kind of forms like a crisscross. So I'll go in about 1 inch, overlap it nicely, pin that down in place, and then I will start doing the pleats. So I'll sew this all the way through, and then I'll get the second half. So I did mention I cut the waistband into 2. I'll get the second half, put that down here, and then sew it down like so. So I'll be sandwiching the straps in between the waistband. So that's what it's going to be like. I'll pin that down, so all the way through. Okay. So I have sewn down the straps to the skirt's waistband. So that's been nicely sandwiched in front here. Okay, so now that we're done with the front of the dress and the straps, it's time to tack the back of the dress. So I've got the waistband piece, and I'm just going to start sewing this waistband piece, which I have got the wideness as 6 inches, and then by the time I've ironed it and folded it in half, is 2.5 inches, and the length is the same length as the back of the waistband, which is 46 inches. Now, because this is going to be an elastic back, I'm just measuring my waist now, and my waist is a 38 inches circumference. I divide that into 2. That is 19 inches. And then with the elastic, I've cut out 2 elastic band. The elastic measures half of my waist measurement, which is 19, minus 2 inches, so that's 17. Obviously, because the back is an elastic band and we want it to have a snug fit, I've cut the waistband to be 17 inches. Now I've sewn the waistband down in place, as you can see, and because I'm putting 2 elastic, I've also done a middle line which measures 1 and a bit, so 1 1/4 inch, because the elastic is a 1-inch waistband, so it can nicely fit into the elastic casing. So I'm just measuring out the elastic, which is going to be 17 inches. Okay, so I've now got the 2 elastic band. I'm just cross-checking the size against the casing I've made for it. So next thing now is I am going to use a safety pin and pull on one side of the elastic, and I would start to pass the elastic through the casing. Now, trick here is I tend to put the lower elastic casing first before I put the upper one, because that way it's easier to go through. Right, okay guys, so what I've done is I have put in the elastic in the waistband casing. So that's what it looks like. So that is the front and the pockets, and that is the back. So nicely put in. So that's the back actually done now. So what I would do is I would start joining the 2 pieces together. Take the back waistband, pin that down here, and then I would sew it all the way around in place on both sides. And that is the skirt practically done. So I'm just going to sew it all the way around now, and then I'll show you what the finished dress looks like. Okay guys, so our Infinity Midi dress has now been complete, and that is the straps here. So I'm going to be doing a different video on how to style midi dress. So that's the straps all the way, and that's the waistband, nicely done. Then it's got nice pockets on the side, and then it's got the elastic waistband, all nicely done. So that's it from me, guys. If you've enjoyed the content of this video, you know what to do. Remember to give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and turn on the bell notification so when I post any upcoming videos, you get notified. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.